Okay, annotation basics, the process of marking up a text for further analysis and close reading. Why annotate? Yeah, that's a good question. Annotation is a great tool when you really need to take a deep dive into a text to talk about it or to write about it. It's really easy to miss things when you just read it and then jump straight into talking or straight into writing. But annotation really helps you pick up on things that you might want to talk about, you might want to disagree with, or that will help you become a better writer or a better reader. So let's jump in. The first step is to circle words you are unfamiliar with. And not just circle them, but I'm going to add to circle and to define them as well. And if you can do that based on context clues, that's great. If you can kind of use the sentence around the word to define it in context, that will help you acquire new vocabulary as you read. So define unfamiliar terms in your own words, and if you happen to be a word whiz and nothing is unfamiliar to you, try to also circle words that are central to the message of the text. So when you get to words that you think are key to the theme or the whole topic of the text, circle those. That'll be important for discussing and writing. Step one really helps you become better at vocabulary, and it also helps you grow your vocabulary too when you're circling and defining unfamiliar words. Step two, this is the toughest one in my opinion, chunking the article. So on the left, you're going to create brackets around what topics are discussed and where. So you're going to chunk and label the introduction, the issue or problem, if there is one, that the author is writing about. You're going to chunk the author's main arguments and examples into sections. Maybe there's 4 sections in the article, maybe there's 7, but figure out how many sections there are in the article. For example, there could be introduction, and then there could be a whole section that just is logos, and then maybe a whole section that's pathos. Maybe the author tells an anecdote, and then concludes with a conclusion and call to action. Figure that out and bracket that on the left and label them. This is really helpful to for writing a rhetorical précis. It's also really helpful for becoming a better writer, because as you start to see how authors structure their texts to convince the reader, you can be using those same tools later in your own writing. The next step is to summarize, to create a really short summary of each paragraph in 3 to 5 words. So it's more like labeling the topics of each paragraph in 3 to 5 words. And we can do that on the right side. So on the left side, you're going to do the purpose. So the chunking and the labeling, like what is this paragraph? What purpose is this paragraph serving? Is it an introduction, ethos, logos, pathos, examples? And on the right, we're going to summarize in 3 to 5 words. This can really help with comprehension. So this is where you're going to really sharpen your reading skills, because as you're reading, you're going to kind of summarize in your own words what's going on, and that's going to sharpen your comprehension skills. Okay, let's get into step 4, responding to the text. So here's where you get to join the conversation with your own thoughts, questions, evidence, or counterclaims. So this is where you get to join what the author is saying and present your own ideas. Quick little summary. First, we're going to circle and define unfamiliar words. And I have another video posted on using context clues to help determine the meaning of unfamiliar words if you want a refresher on that. Step 2 is we're going to chunk the paragraphs and label the things that are listed on that slide. There might not be all of them in there, but chunk and label based on those items that you find. Step 3 is we're going to summarize on the right, summarize each paragraph in 3 to 5 words. And step 4, you're ready now to respond with your own thoughts and opinions. Quick little note, do we always use all the steps? No. Each one has a different purpose, and it might be helpful to do all of them if you're really studying a text closely, if you're doing a close read. But for some text, it might only be helpful to respond if it's a really short, simple text. For some text, it might be only helpful to do step one. It really just depends on what kind of activity you're doing. For example, if you're writing a précis, actually all of these steps are going to be important for different reasons. But if you're just reading to maybe have a quick little chat in a class, maybe not all of them are going to be helpful for you. All right, that's my quick crash course in annotation, and good luck practicing that. Thank you.